Hi everybody. Today is the day that I'm going to try to save this hive. I don't know if you've been following along or not, but the package that I received had laying workers in it, and I've done a lot of reading and research on this subject since figuring it out, and pretty much everybody online, experts, books are saying that this is an extremely difficult situation to fix. So I'm gonna try my best, but there's no guarantee that this will work. This is nature, and as we all know, you can't control nature. And I understand that, especially as a beekeeper, there's only really so much intervention that you can do, but really the bees are gonna do what they're gonna do. So I did a lot of researching on Facebook, and someone made a suggestion that I'm going to try. So today what I'm going to do is I'm going to close off the entrance to the hive, and then we're going to take the bars one by one 50 feet away from the hive, and then we're going to brush all the bees off of the bars. And the idea behind this is that the bees that are laying the eggs are going to be too heavy to fly back to the hive. So basically, whoever's laying the eggs is just going to be sacrificed for the greater good of the hive. And then once everybody's out of the hive, I'm going to release the queen and let her do her thing in there. And then I'm going to open the door, and then slowly the bees are going to come back, and hopefully the ones that come back will have already accepted her as the queen, and then everything will be great. So the only thing I can do is try and see if this works. Hopefully it does. And I guess we'll just get started. Let's see how it goes. Okay, so the first part of this is we have to block off the entrance so nobody can get back in before we want them to. They're not going to be happy about this, but we got to do it. There's the neighbor.
Old Harlan.
He's giving us his moral support.
Harlan never goes that long.
Yeah, he's impressive right there. Okay, so now that the entrance is totally blocked off with straw, we're gonna start taking the bees out of the hive. And the other part that I forgot to mention is I'm going to have to cut all the eggs off of the honeycomb because it's just a mess. So I'm just gonna get started because the bees are already getting upset.
Am I supposed to put a board where you take one off?
Yeah. So I'm taking these 50 feet away down here. Check and see if this has eggs in it, but it's new, and unfortunately the whole thing has eggs in it, so I'm just gonna break it off. I'm sorry girls, but it's the reality of the situation. I know it was a lot of hard work for them to have to build that and have me rip it off, but the eggs in there are gonna be drones, and that would put too much stress on the hive if I just let them hatch. So sometimes you have to make executive decisions for the bees, and that's my decision. This one has a lot of, well, not a lot, but some honey in it, so I'm gonna cut, where's my knife?
Right here.
Can you hold it while I cut?
Yes.
Hold it up high. I'm gonna try to recycle this honeycomb so that I can use it, this beeswax. I'll use it to make some salve or lip balm or something. Yeah, sorry girls. That was the third. I gotta put this one back and then this one. Yeah. This is the heavy one, so I'm gonna need you to come down here with me and do it. Can you grab the knife too? So this one has a lot of bees on it again. So I'm gonna take it down and just brush them off and then cut the eggs out down there. So this is all that I had to cut off. The rest had honey, so hopefully they'll clean the eggs out of the honey. You can see. So this one, as you can see, I had to rip most of it off, but it's just loaded. I don't know if the camera's gonna focus in on this, but there are so many eggs in that. I mean, some of these eggs have maybe 15 eggs in it. I mean, some of the cells have like 15 eggs. It's crazy. This one, I'm just gonna rip the whole way off. It's new and they've already laid eggs all the way in it. I'm just gonna go dump these bees down in the grass and I'll be back. So I learned a lot about how packages are made. And basically what the guy who sold me these bees did was he went down a row of his hives and took maybe a pound of bees out of 3 different hives. And one of the hives that he took the bees out of was the hive with the laying workers. And he just must not have noticed. He had probably had so many hives, he didn't have time to check it or whatever. And so that's how I got the laying workers. So hopefully the bees from the other 2 hives will be loyal like these girls are to the queen, and she'll live and thrive. That's what we're hoping for. And that's why we're doing this whole thing.
That's our intention.
That's our intention, and we can only do our best. So the bees that are actually on her, I'm not going to take down there because I'm sure that they are loyal to her already. So obviously I couldn't get every single bee out of the hive, but we're hoping that the bees that were laying the eggs were on the comb, and most likely they were, because as we can see, they've been very busy laying many eggs continuously. So hopefully they were the ones on the comb and we were able to brush them off, and now they are down in the grass. Okay, so I'm just gonna gently brush these girls over here so I can get a good handle on her. The queen, oops, the queen is still in here. She's the big one. I don't know if you're able to see her or not, but she's in there with her 2 attendants and they've been feeding her candy. Actually, it looks like one of her attendants is dead. Woo. Yeah, we got to get her out of here. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to carefully take this end off. If we remember, I took the wrong cork out as a rookie mistake, but it'll be helpful this time because we want her to come out immediately. So I'm going to just take this off, and I'm going to take the duct tape off, and I'm going to sit this inside the hive, and she's just going to come out. The blue. But first, let me open. So now's the moment of truth. The queen is being released. This is what we've been waiting almost 2 weeks for. Well, we'll name her, but I'm not trying to give any names right now. Okay, go. Oh, take 2 out, please. Okay. I know. It's hard to do this with all they're doing the you can see they're doing the butt in the air wagging with and like buzzing their wings, and it's really a weird sensation of vibration on my hands. Okay, got it. All right, ready?
Okay, let's go. Okay, she's in.
I don't know if you can see, but these girls are all doing the butt in the air with the wings buzzing, and they're putting the pheromones off because I had the queen in this hand. It's pretty cool. All right. Actually, I want to put this one back in there.
Okay, great. Put this one back here. Find our way home.
All right. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually grab the camera so you guys can see what's going on. But you can see we have a good sign. You see the bees that have their butts in the air and they're waving their wings. They're putting off pheromones to let the other bees know where the hive is, and hopefully also let them know that there's a queen in here that they need to listen to. She's been in there since last Friday. Today is Thursday. So hopefully enough of the bees have accepted her pheromones as the leader and they'll thrive. Otherwise, I'm not really sure what the next step would be, but we're just gonna take things as they come. So I'm gonna slowly, carefully, just open the entrance up. So the entrance is now open and the bees are gonna go in. They're not too mad. I mean, what I just did was pretty traumatic and extreme. This whole situation is pretty traumatic and extreme, and this is not a typical thing to have happen at all. Please don't think that this is normal or common. This is totally just a fluke. I'm not gonna let it discourage me, and if you were considering keeping bees, don't let it discourage you, because most likely this will not happen to you. And I'm really thankful that the online community of beekeepers has been extremely supportive and helpful. And I wouldn't have been able to fix this without them, really. So now it's just a waiting game to wait and see if they accept the queen, if she starts laying, and if the other bees stop laying. So everybody just keep your fingers crossed for me. And actually I see that I put this bar in backwards. See, that's why it's important to pay attention. You see the blue here. It should be over there. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have you hold this.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna brush the bees off again. One more time. Sorry, girls and boys. So now I'm just gonna shut the hive up a little bit better because we were going so fast before. They didn't close up right. It's not tight. But hopefully this is all gonna work out. All right, I'll keep everybody posted and updated as I go along. And thanks for watching and being supportive.